Hello there, everyone. It is I, SoulSilver17. Let me get first, like usual. I do not own this picture, non-paid video. Alright, okay. So, you're probably wondering if well, the reason why I was gone for so long. Well, I had to look up something just to try and find episode 13 to 25. Or how many episodes it was, The Shield Hero, just to make sure. Basically, so yeah, I had to look that up. I kept on searching multiple days at a time until I found a website. It took forever. So, basically, I have a lot of plan for this part. I'm not gonna say explain what, but someone asked me would I have a Soul Edge and Soul Calibur, from the Soul Calibur series. And someone also asked if I have a gun sword. I do. Specifically, Final Fantasy. It's one of the Final Fantasy games. I think it was 8 or 10. Hold up. Okay, so basically, it's a gun that's from Final Fantasy. Basically, if you type it like this, it's a V, then 3 I's. Or, 3 L's. Basically, so I think that's 8 or 9. But I believe it's 8. So, basically, not much stuff is gonna happen because all the lower enemies. It's gonna be a lot more lower enemies. I'm gonna have to bring in some of my own enemies so that way, Fumi can get a little bit higher along with, leveling up. But I do have some plans to bring someone or something into the world of Rise of the Shield Hero just for this quick fight. But I'm only gonna try to go up to a certain part, and you all know where it would be. But enough of me talking. Let's just get into this because oh my god, it is gonna be a doozy. I believe you're all gonna like it. I don't know. Anyways, let's go on. So, last time we left off. By the way, this is what if I was riding the Shield Hero 3, or 4. Yeah. So last time we left off is where, well, me and Albedo decided to go look for Naofumi. To meet up with him. To see what he's doing and hang out and just relax. Not really doing anything. So we do have Birilu. We're just like riding off to him. So, while we're going, Albedo asks me, so, what's the first thing you're gonna do when you see him? I'm like, oh, you mean like what I planned, or just, just like, I'm gonna just like throw a rock at him? She just says, well, you have planned. I'm like, I don't know. Help him out with anything? I mean, it's better than nothing, right? And she just looks at me like, really? You have no plan? Nothing? Just gonna go over there, hang out with him, just help him out if needed? I'm like, yep. That's the plan. She just sighs like, alright, okay. So, basically, we do, head. It does take a couple of days until we find out Fumi riding off. Because we know about a Filorial, basically, that's pulling a cart with a man with what looks like a barbarian or bandit's armor. And, we just followed the rumors. And so we're passing a village, and then at a crossroad, we just hear a bird talking, basically. And basically, I'm like, am I hearing things? Which, basically how we know it's a bird because it doesn't really sound like a normal human, you can say. But, yeah. Actually, how would I even be able to tell? Doesn't matter. I just hear someone talking, and I'm like, thinking, am I hearing things? Basically, just like that. And then we just see a freaking big giant bird pulling a cart with someone, like, it's just like a girl right in the front with a tail and ears. And I'm like, Retalia! I just yell at her. She's like, she looks over and she goes, "Wait, Soul?" And I'm like, "Hey!" I just asked her to stop the cart. She does. So we pull up. She sees, Bidu, and she's like, "Question, what the heck is that?" Like, you know. So we just get over. I mean, I don't think she saw it from the last video I said. So yeah, I don't think she saw it. So basically, when the whole entire, you know, cart stopped, I hear Nafumi goes like, "Hey, Ritalia, what's wrong? Soul, hey!" It's like, "Sup? Miss me?" He's like, "Whoa, man! Like, where have you been?" He's like, here, there, everywhere. I mean, got myself a wagon. Like, we're basically just like, I'm just like, came off the wagon. Basically, we're just like, I just came over to him, and Albedo's at the wagon still. So I just point to it. He was like, "Huh? You're doing your own trade business?" He was like, "Nope, mobile home at least." I mean, technically, I haven't really been doing much guild stuff, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, so how's your business? I heard it's booming, right? He goes, "Yeah, you." Eh, I mean, doing like taking on some monsters, leveling up, and achieved something that I thought I never would achieved. He was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah." Anyways, hey, you mind if we tag along? I know it's against the rules, but freak them. Just F them, right? Because, yeah, why not? It'd be nice to have another hero around. I mean, at least one I like. And I just laugh at that. I'm like, yeah, Simp Hero is a real catch for everyone. Motoyatsu is annoying. Anyways, just let me get back in the car. We'll just follow you. So, and that's what we do. And, well, basically, Albedo's asks, "What do you think they're doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's better if we just follow." So, we just follow. And when we do, we arrive to the cave. And when we get out, I'm like, "Huh. So, what's this cave about? Is there something special about it?" And they explain how they need, well, a mana crystal that will allow Philo to basically use her mana to make thread. I'm like, huh? Why? And now people just says she can transform into a human with wings, basically. It's like, oh, gotcha. And I'm thinking to myself, I hate I hate my acting. I really do. Anyways, so as we just follow the whole entire written script about it, and I'm like, huh, what is this supposed to mean? Like, it's a seed or something? And wait a minute, was there anything about a seed somewhere being, I don't know, planted? Which Delvin just looks at me like, don't tell me. Basically, it's Motoyatsu, who basically is the exact same thing, but it was like, Mai only heard a rumor about it. Motoyatsu heard about the people needed saving with food. He was like, "Okay, Mai, tell me where it is." And then she said, like, "Okay, it's here, but I don't believe we should, because I heard a rumor about it being bad." And then it's like, what's the worst that can happen with the seed? So yeah. So basically, Itsuki, you know, is doing his thing, but also it was like, since I'm the sword hero, well, it was Itsuki and Motoyatsu who took down the dragon and left the corpse there. So, anyways, about to continue on. And then I'm just saying, like, knowing that idiot probably gave him the seed. Just more work for us to clean up. Come on, let's get this over and done with. So I just take the sword, and all of a sudden it just changes into a katana. Basically, it's the Muramasa blade. If how can I say this right? It's a okay. You know the Japanese if no one knows, I'm sorry if you guys don't want to hear this, so you can skip ahead. But I mean, this is just a legend. The Muramasa blade. I want to make sure if I got that right. Alright, so basically, it was Muramasa the blacksmith who made a blade, or should I say, trying to work on his craft so far to basically make a blade that can cut through the heavens. Basically, I heard a lot of these stories, so you know. But it's also in games. There has been a lot of times with it has been in games, so anything I would remember. I have Star Wars, and that's been in games, but also been in books and movies, and I know how it works. So basically a blade that can cut through the heavens and anything with ease. Basically, it has been in games, movies, and you can say even legends. So if you guys want to look it up, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just gonna go with just basically the premise of it. Weapon that can cut through the heavens. Um, basically, it can kill a god too. So yeah, and this is like only achieved at level 40. Reason why? Because the skills for this is more than 5, with more than 3, 4. I have 4 to 5 mastery skills, and that's gonna take forever because each one's more difficult. And though I can, and there's only 4 passive, no, 3 passive. Like I say, what? But I have not earned them yet. So, and the first one is automatically locked still. So I have to basically start off like not from 1. I have to start off like just 0, then get 1, 2, 3. So basically, just that way. As basically now Fumi was like, what's that? He goes like, oh, Muramasa Blacksmith, one of his blades are legends. You know, the God Killer one, the one that can cut through the heavens and even kill a god. Which Fumi was like, isn't that though dangerous? It's like, it depends on which version I'm going with. He goes, huh? Oh, folklore, games, movies, TV shows of anime. All depends on which one I'm going with. I'm just going with the legend version of it, combined with the look of a, well, how can I say this? From a version of an anime from my world called Fate, the Fate series. So yeah, and that version Muramasa became an actual servant, spirit servant, or spiritual servant, whatever you want to say. Say it. This is to you guys. I remember just servant. So basically, though, as I tell him just what I know of him, he's like, okay, that's, yeah, I know it's OP, but basically, I mean, I can't really do much as I just like kind of just swing and it doesn't really create a shockwave that much, and it's like, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm going with the legend, and I don't know too much about it. I mean, I'm going with the legend for the heavens and stuff. But I guess it's by my will, and I don't want to cut anything yet, so yeah. I'm just basically I'm still trying to figure this one out. Memory's pretty fuzzy. He's like, gotcha. And then I was just thinking, like, what the fuck? So yeah, so those are bad things will happen, and then they will be killed. He would get a new shield, and then basically the creature that we fight, the Namaka, basically this thing that has electricity and has a snake too. So basically, Rotalia and Philo were rushing like usual, but with added help with me when the lightning strikes. I mean, when it has lightning just coming off his body. All of a sudden, we just see a slash go down, right down the middle of it, just killing it. Like that's all, just one slash, and then just like have the blood come off, basically just like flick the blade a little, and then turn it back to normal. I'm like, that was easy. Which Albedo does say, well, with our levels it is. Anyways, you can get your stuff now, Fumi. And he does put the thumbs up. They get the crystal, but then he goes like, wait, are we in a part? And I'm like, yep, I already add you into my party. So he sees the XP. He's like, okay. So yeah. So we get the crystals. We get the crystal. We even then get like, feel of her outfit. And well, everything will go to canon basically of the story. Yes, this is kind of where I'm being more of the canon story. But like we help out a lot of people. Then we basically turn. We basically then go into the village that had the seed. Basically, though, along the way, I learned from Naofumi how to craft gems and put mana into it, and I'm like, I pick it up pretty easily because I technically been doing it anyways. But I even forgot to mention that because the magic shop lady was there, she did say she wanted to give me this, and it was advanced magic. Basically, she only said that book only had the basic magic, which was only technically a fire spell, earth spell, and light spell, and basically, healing, fire, earth, and light. And I'm like, okay, what does this one have? She says wind, water, darkness, any really elements, advanced ones. It's like, thanks. Oh, you one. She goes, no, just keep doing what you're doing. It's like, thanks, ma'am. So, yeah. That happens. And basically, along the way, though, Naofumi asked me, he goes like, hey, what's your level? I'm like, should we tell him? I just look at Albedo. She just nods. We both say it exactly at the same time. Level 50. Which, technically, like, Retalia, Naofumi, and people just stop in place. They're like, And like, what? No offense, I was already higher level than you anyway, so, and we just keep running along, and Naofumi was like, oh my god. So yeah, so basically, after, we get to the village that needs the the chemical that allows them to kill the plant. Everything goes the same, and the problem is, though, I just tell Naofumi, you can handle this. Alright, you need to get the XP, so you handle it. Me, I will go over in that direction as I'm pointing farther away from the village with Albedo, I tell him. He goes, alright, just be careful. So we go. We go along. Sorry. We're just going on our way. There's not really any plants or monsters attacking us. So, what can I say for this? We ran into something. Something way more terrifying. A level 150 monster. Reasons why. Because Naofumi is still in my party, so... yeah. Guess what this monster is? Oh my god, it is not a dragon. It's a Leviathan. An elemental Leviathan. It's an ice one. And I'm like, wait, how the hell is the landscape not frozen by this thing? And it's a level 150. Albedo, we need to, as I turn around and I just see the whole, our exit. Here's how it was. We walked past, we're walking past the village. No vines, nothing was happening. Until we get to this little clearing where there was a lake. For some reason it was frozen. We thought it was weird. So we wanted to see if there was any magical item. Like a dumb idiot I was, which it would happen. I suggested let's go here. So, yeah. When the ice Leviathan comes up, we see, we turn around, the whole entire thing is blocking our path of ice. And I'm like, fuck. Albedo was like, we're trapped, are we? I'm like, yep. And then just grab my sword, basically, and I'm like, okay, Albedo, it's been a pleasure working with you. And she was like, we're not gonna die. I'm like, we're gonna die. She's like, oh, where's your confidence that you always have? I'm like, it's level 150. We're only 100 away from that thing's freaking level. And then we just start arguing about it. She goes, I knew you were just an idiot weakling of a human. I'm like, hey, at least I actually am kind to you. I'm like, you being a bitch sometime to me. And basically, this goes on. She basically kicks me. I get sent flying. I somehow land on my feet. I just run at her. And then the Ice Leviathan basically sends an ice attack at me. I dodge it, basically barely. I'm like, okay, first kill that thing, then we argue. She goes, agreed. So, yeah, we decided to kill it and argue later. But the problem is, though, the fight what happened, I cut off one of its legs, and then Abby cut off one of its head, and I'm like, go for the brain, not the neck. And she went for the neck anyways, and then more heads pop up. Wait. I think that's the Hydra. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It would just be a Hydra. I tried to figure out what the freak Leviathan was just to make sure my memory was not, wrong. But it was. That's why I saw it as. But anyway, it's like 2 something more. So, I tried to make this earlier, but I kept on running into problems like parents always needing me. Had to do some stuff, so. And this is my perfect opportunity. So, yeah. So, basically, because it's a Hydra, not a Leviathan, I corrected myself now. It basically is like, one head was there, now it's 3. And it's like, I just look at Vito like, go for the brains. And, well, after a couple minutes of trying to go for the brain, we do get, like, we're gonna have to, get squished or killed. We're both tired, bruised. Heck, Albedo's like, one of our arms is broken. And then there's me with a freaking, like, how can I say this? My leg. I should not be standing on it, and yet I am. And Albedo's just saying, we are gonna die. You jinxed us, you damn asshole. I'm like, okay. Not like Albedo from the freaking Overlord. I'm thinking to myself. But anyways, as well, I already tried multiple swords. It's hard to kill the thing. And I'm just thinking, okay, which sword will work? Which sword will work? As then I hear a voice just says, burn it to ash and burn it into darkness, basically. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Okay, am I hearing things? As I'm looking around, I just think I'm going crazy. So after a few minutes, she just finally asks, what are you looking for? He's like, you didn't hear that voice? And she just says, great, you're going crazy. Yeah, you're going crazy. What else do I need today? As I'm like, oh no, don't tell me. Don't tell me it's something that of a sort I know about and I forgot it even existed. As soon as I say that, the sword is transforming into the Blade Soul Edge. And I'm like, no. I'm just saying that to the sword, which she's like, okay, what is that gonna do? I'm like, shut up, Albedo. I'm talking to this freaking possession sword right now. As she's like, huh? And he was like, a new host, and, well, somehow it's not worthy, and yet it seems like it is. Impressive. Now, tear this thing apart and bring bloodshed. As I'm just looking at the blade and it's trying to influence me, I'm like, shut up and leave me the hell alone. Which, no offense, but Inferno will be like, huh? He's like, okay, first off, worst time to try to influence me. Second off, you can't do that shit to me. And it's like, strong-willed. I'm at to break her spirit then. He's like, I'm too angry to be broken. He's like, what? I'm like, try it now, I dare you. As well, even Inferno did not suspect what I was saying was true. And, well, I was saying, but anyways, okay, yeah, you saw whatever. Yeah, it's impossible, I know. It's just my bullshit luck, my status. But anyways, look, you help me kill that thing, and I'll make this the most glorious first fight you ever seen. Which Inferno's like, fine. And so that basically the Hydra. Oh, sorry, I had to but the Hydra is basically being ripped to shreds. And if you're wondering which version of basically Soul Edge it is, imagine it though as like the final, like with all the pieces, Soul Edge. Alright. And if you're wondering, so wait, I should also have Soul Calibur. I do. But the problem is, I'm basically each blade will take a different shape. So guess what that means? These swords, both of them will change into something, and well, access will be granted. That's all I gotta say. So basically, after me plunging Soul Edge into the Hydra's back, and I just yell out, "Burn to ash!" as, well, fire erupts from the back of where I stabbed it while I'm still on it. The thing starts to burn, and, well, sorry, it melts away. So, as soon as that happens, whole bunch of level ups. Whole bunch of level ups on my end and not from me. So basically, oh my god, I'm gonna do math. I don't want to, but I have to. Freak. No. Okay, so I'm gonna say it goes up by 20, not 20, but about like 10 levels. So basically, okay, let me try to figure this out now. Okay, so basically, I'm level 60, like I said. I did everything by 10. So you go from the last video, I guess 10 times 100. So basically, it's 100 into the stats, you can say. So, yeah. Everything's into the 400, like past 400 into 550. So, yeah. If you guys hear background music or something like talking, that's my dad's TV. So, yeah. But, anyways, because of that happening, Soul Edge, after I swim back, I'm like, okay, that used up all my mana. Crap. I'm tired. As I just hear Soul Edge just saying, "You are perfect, but your will is strong." I like you. I never heard anyone talk to me like that. No one's ever been able to. I'm not really from this world, so I guess the laws of this world applies to me. Am I correct? And I'm just like, yeah, wait, how are you able to manifest your mind into the blade, even though it's into another dimension altogether? Which is just like, Inferno's like, it's Soul Edge. I'm a part of it, you know? So it's like, gotcha. So basically, Inferno just had the most funniest assholest thing ever to do to me, which I came up with. Basically, he says, during the fight I went through your memories, and I figured out a way how to manifest myself into this world. And I'm like, huh? All of a sudden, left arm is burning, feels like it's on fire, as I basically see Nightmare with Soul Edge. Full on, like, actual full Soul Edge. I'm like, what the? Did you? As then the sword turned back to normal, and I'm like, that bastard. And I get a notification. Dual Wield has been unlocked. I'm like, huh? The sword style has been unlocked. I'm like, yes, but huh? Basically, I can basically dual wield two weapons at once. That's a sword. I'm like, I just got dual wielding. Oh god. Oh man, Nafumi. Yeah, so after, if you guys are wondering, why the hell was I able to jump onto the Hydra's back or go? Remember, my passive ability, I basically will be feeling it, but it's like, I won't be feeling stabbed or nothing. You know, like stabs or like arrows. I know, but imagine this. Berserk armor appeared with Soul Edge. That's what you gotta imagine. So yeah. So basically, after that, I give Albedo a healing potion, and she's just saying like, "We're gonna have to train." And like, yeah, we have to train a lot. I need to figure out some stuff too. So after that, we get back. Naofumi told us about what he did to the planet. I'm like, good job. And everything would go from there. Exactly the same, even with the hot spring. Me, I don't go into hot spring. I just train with basically trying to bring out Soul Edge, but for some reason, when I try to, I can't. I can't bring out Caliburn. For some reason, I can't find them besides these weird looking blades. One's red, one has like fire on it with a weird symbol, like not symbol, but like a weird like licking gem. Another one has ice going over it and has another weird looking gem. I'm like, the fuck, whatever. So yeah. So after that, the whole entire um going to the going to basically the dragon. Basically, for me, heard about the rumor, and then we're going to that village. We also tell about the people dying. We get to the village. They ask us to help out. Now, for me, I'm like, uh, yeah. He just says exactly the same thing. I'm like, I'll go. I always wanted to slay a dragon. I mean, come on. What's the worst that can happen, Alfumi? He's like, fine, let's go. And then, he just changes the book into, his shield. And we just go. So everything would go, we don't take my wagon, we just take Naofumi's, and we just go like normal. And the fights go a little bit different. Basically. The fight would go technically the same, but I'm also using my blade to technically cut through just my normal, basically Hero Blade, from the Cardinal Hero Blade. And the Cardinal Hero, the Sword Heroes, the Sword Blade, basically. And yeah, that's going like normal. We're basically able to. We can't tell what's the level of the monster, and we are having a kind of a difficult time. Basically, I don't know why, but I can't control this thing. It's not listening to me. I tell Albedo because of my necromancy ability. So, that ain't working out so well. Philo gets, eaten. Then Naofumi gets hatred. We did get. Basically, we have been getting along with each other. So I see Philo as a friend, along with Naofumi and Ritalia. So it's like, including I basically get mad, and for some weird reason, all of a sudden, I see an error system again after so long. Because error cannot access cannot access what's needed. And I'm like, what the? Basically, I see flames coming off of the sword, just like what Naofumi would have with the shield. And Albedo's freaking out even with, Ratalia. As then I just hear Inferno's voice. He goes, so you have awakened it. He goes, huh? William, and I go like, the sin and Naofumi and me are the same? And he's like, yes. And you know what that means? He was like, there has to be a different sin. Can't be the same, or it's a malfunction, he says, in the system. So this error, I realize, is because of, they can't be two hatreds or wrath sins in the world of basically if you're a hero, it's just evil to have a different sin. That's why I think, because basically all the heroes have a different sin besides Naofumi. This is what I'm going by friend, and I did research it, so it's like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like I said, it is 2-something, and I try and make a video, and let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm right on this. So please, I will then correct myself in the next video. But yeah. So, anyways, so basically, and then we're like, so that's why it said analyze memories, and I'm basically in pain, and then. Well, Inferno says, you're gonna die if you don't listen to me. He's like, what? I looked at your memories, like I said. I came into a knowledge of a video game. He says like this, of a video game. And it says like this, I am thou, thou are I. I am in the soul. Well, I'm in the sea of your soul. And I'm thinking, you bastard. And I'm saying that with a smile. And while basically he's going on, basically like, save your soul. I'm the fury and the rage within you. The one that wants to bring destruction and carnage to this world. Say my name to complete the contract. Basically, I messed it up, I know. I was trying to say, but my stuttering. Yeah, I was doing so good at not stuttering in this video, but basically, like I said, that basically that nightmare, along with, Soul Eater, starts to burn, as basically, I just yell out, Inferno! As a whole entire fire shoots up into the air, and basically, Persona 5 moment, armor of Nightmare's coming on, but not really Nightmare, just the armor look. And I'm like, but it's like, did you combine it with the freaking Berserk armor? He just says, yes. It's like, So yeah, it's like that moment, and the whole entire thing went nuts for me. This was taking a while, so basically Ratalia brought him back to his senses. Ratalia is basically, injured, cursed and stuff. As then he sees me, he's like, "Soul, I don't know what's," and I say, "Don't worry about it." And they see he sees my sword has changed to being a katana, but a fire over it. And it's basically like, wait, is this the Masamune blade? He's like, yes, I just changed into it. And now, someone else, well, my other half. It's like, basically still out and he's talking. And I'm like, okay, Soul Caliburn. All of a sudden, the sword in my left hand starts to glow as then a sword appears in my right. Dual mode activated. I'm like, look at both blades. Look at the dragon. Grin on my face. And I'm like, now Fumi, I'll take care of the wings and the legs. You go for the head. He goes, right. So basically I just dash forward. And, well, basically, basically the dragon tries to use poison breath. I just jump up, make a fire slash at it. It goes burn right for the poison, and then it hits the monster. Cut wound appears. As in, I just start spinning. And it's basically, I just call this technique on the fly, basically, ice and fire combination attack. Basically, ice, fire, dragon, strike. As a whole entire, just imagine the dragon moved its head, but it went all the way over the body. So basically, one swift strike, spin in motion, take off the wings and such. Some body parts are missing. Some flesh is gone off of it, and I basically land on the other side. And the thing does start to freaking die though because of Philo. Sorry for the sound effect. Didn't know why it just happened. Yeah, but anyways. So yeah, the whole other thing with Philo being exactly the same way, even about the lunch thing, everyone's laughing. And me, I just got no Fumi. I'm like, I'm a necromancer. As I look at the dragon, he's like, no. I'm like, yes. And then I just tell it to arise. As then, Shadow Ice Dragon. Now if you're just like, you really had to get one. I'm like, what? Travel purposes. Also for my army. So it's like, though for some reason since technically we didn't really, the monster was already killed, but since we didn't kill, we just took out the core of it. I didn't see them getting XP from it, so I guess they didn't. But Mafia got the crystal. Me, I got the dragon. And then we just basically go back to the town, and they ask about the dragon. I'm like, don't worry about it, it's fine. And I named the dragon, Drake. Yeah, I named the dragon Drake. So, after that is done, we then go back. We basically do a couple of jobs together, and then basically because we're Talia, we have to go back to the capital, so we will meet the nice princess Melty. Yeah, I believe it's Melty. Yeah, Melty, aka Mel. So we would meet Melty. We would meet Mel, as then it's like we just see for her the same scene of Friolials. Like, well, that's a lot of birds. Then I hear basically Philo says, if we, because they ran away, I just hear her say, if we catch up in time, we get to, eat one of them. And it's like, okay. I'm thinking, time to set the gun sword. And I just pull out the sword, it turns into a sword, but it has a chamber, as I just, throw off the safety. It's already loaded. So basically, Um, old fashioned Western style. They have to basically use a mechanism where they have to pull the mechanism backwards and then they pull the trigger. Yeah, that happens. And basically, if your little is not dead but stunned, as I just bring it over, I just walk it over and Philo gets food. I'm like, so, um, dinner. Moti is like, no, we don't eat those. And I was like, okay, jeez. And the stun effect runs off and it just runs away. And I'm like, sorry. And that thing's gonna hate me for the rest of my life. I have a feeling. Which Alvio goes, yep. What are we trying to do? Like, well, it's a bird. What do you think? It's everyone's like, whatever. I mean, some people are questioning me. Philo says, I know how you feel. And it's like that. So basically, so after that, like, little thing, um, you know, whole entire town, I mean, would be leaving to get back to town. Everything would go to canon there, because I know I'm skipping a lot, but it's like, not really much stuff is happening, and I'm trying to make this under an hour and 10 minutes because I want to just get to bed. I just want to sleep. So, yeah, I apologize if, you guys want more, but anyways, more content. So, what will happen is this, because when we get back into town and I'm there, Motoyatsu will still try to attack Naofumi, but then he basically just gets, how can I say this? He gets sparked and kicked. Or should I say, run, jump, 2 feet together, hit him in the face, send him flying into a building. Yeah. He's like, hey, what the hell was that for? It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, legit, shut up. You're allowed, I think, blonde. I think your hair is blonde, maybe orange, doesn't really matter to me. You're really loud and annoying. Look, I was with Naofumi. I've been traveling with him for quite a while. Before you say anything, he basically, or should I say, we basically came up to a field where she was basically with the Friolioles, those birds. And, well, yeah, she got distracted by them. So here's the thing, you could have done your job right and followed her, protected her just in case. We did your job for you. So stop being a freaking little bitch and just protect her. From now on. KK. Scram. And I just look at Naofumi, I'm like, bro, I'm just done with these. I'm just done with him. I'm not in the mood for his BS today. Which Naofumi was like, I know, right? So, the same thing when Naofumi before he can tell, well, Philo about she couldn't hang out with, Mel anymore. I'm like, bro, like, Naofumi. Here's the thing. She's royalty, but yet she's different from her, sister and the Kane. The Kane's basically a jerk, but this girl seems genuine nice. Give her a chance. And he's like, okay, fine. I give Mel a chance. But she double crosses me. Like, I know, my head's on a platter. Gotcha. So, yeah. So, after that little scene, I believe, yeah, it'll be the knights, some knights coming in along with mages, asking to join Naofumi's party for the wave. And, well, it'll be in a couple of days, so, I don't remember anything what will happen in between this part. besides, Ratalia gets healed, and then basically the whole entire situation with the wave comes in. Yeah, that's the only part I can think, nothing else. Oh yeah, and also, Motoyatsu and Itsuki find out what we've been doing, clean up their messes. Well, mostly it was basically me and Naofumi clean up one mess, and Naofumi basically Itsuki's mess. So yeah, and Motoyatsu's mess again. So yeah, they were kind of shocked by that, and then that was it. So now it's on to the waves. Naofumi did get an upgrade. Me, not so much, or at all actually, because And, well, if you guys are wondering, did I technically make Inferno a persona? Technically, yes. Yes, I did. But here's the thing. I kind of made it into something where basically it's going to be a lot more easier for stuff to happen. I'm going to be basically a lot more powerful. And also I can technically help out Naofumi. But anyways, so after everything happens, them getting taken to the next wave, it'll be like this. So we're fighting off monsters. Each one of us kill monsters very easily. Albedo is having everything's going easier for us to begin with. I basically have my soldiers out protecting the village, and then I see an old lady kicking some monsters' butt. I'm like, holy crap, lady, you're awesome. Basically, she tells about how these basically fists of hers can take on a whole entire army of monsters back when she was an adventurer. I'm like, note to self, never mess with an old lady. I always done that in anime, but still, seeing it to believe it, sheesh. So then basically, we would have to go into basically the ship. So let's just say what happens when I get there. Oh, oh God. When we get to the ship, it's gonna be like we do find Itsuki basically firing arrows at the enemies just try to get to the head of the ship. And basically I'm like, idiot. As we do get up to the ship and stuff, and it's just like everyone's in Motoyatsu, my actually multi Mel is the nice one, multi is the naval one. Yeah. So multi is like, or my I'm just gonna call it my is like telling Motoyatsu that we can't take out the pirates, it just keeps on regenerating, or the heads. Basically, as then me, Naofumi, and Ratalia and Philo appear, and I'm like, Naofumi, don't you think this is kind of suspicious right away? He's like, what do you mean? I mean, they're trying to take out the heads, and then the captain, they both regenerate then. Don't you think that it's something else? Or summoning the boss, we have to, I don't know, look for another way? So I just make a hint, I'm like, it's not like, I think we need to have a brainstorm, like a light bulb hit us. In which, well, basically, Fumi's like, that's a genius idea. I'm like, huh? What do you mean, genius? He was light. So he just tells Ratalia, and I just help out the light spell, and boom. We get the shadows, we get the freaking spirit thing, and everyone's having a hard time killing it because it just keeps coming back even when the health is getting down low. Until basically, in this case, when the Iron Man comes on, the thing still have a sliver of health, but then Dragon Slayer from Berserk comes in out of nowhere. And if you guys do not know, the Dragon Slayer is on another plane altogether, basically because of so much demonic blood. So basically, it can kill anything spiritual. And because this is a spirit, cuts the thing right in half, which everyone's in shock. And somehow I just land barely on the ship still. I'm like, whoa, whoa, because I'm right on the edge, and I'm like, I got my balance back. I'm like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. So I get back onto the ship, and Naofumi was like, whoa, how the heck is like Dragon Slayer, the sword basically it has so much demonic blood it became into the spiritual realm on another plane. So basically anything that has to do with spirits, I can cut right into two. He's like, gotcha. So, basically, then our the whole other spirit will be coming back, but then our enemy comes in, the one that basically, it has fans, and I can't remember her name. I think her name is Mirror or something, I guess. But anyways, she comes in, I think I'm just gonna call her Mirror right now. Mirror for now. So Mirror basically does exactly the same thing. She calls all of us servants, and I'm the background character. And she's like, huh? I'm like, basically, I'm a background character to a story, basically. She's like, okay, you're still a servant. And it's like, whatever, I'm fine with that. Which Itsuki and Motoyasu is like, hey, we're supposed to be heroes. How come you're so fine with me calling us servants? Like, I don't want to be a hero. What's the freaking problem with that? And it's like, I haven't earned the name, the title hero, so I don't want to be a hero until I earn it. Jeez. Everyone's confused, but nothing really understands where I'm coming from. So yeah, so those are fight what happened with Naofumi and Mirror. But instead of them running away, basically all of a sudden I just say, Naofumi, switch. And then he's like, huh? As I just have my sword, change. It looks like a big giant kitchen sword, and it has fabric coming off the end of it. Since I'm holding it forward, all of a sudden the fabric that's at the end starts wrapping around. Basically, it's like one of those bandages that we wrap around your body. Basically, you know what I'm talking. Like, if you don't know the sword I'm talking about, it's basically from Bleach, Zangetsu. So basically, then I just say, Bun! Kai! And all of a sudden the sword changes. And after the smoke clears, I'm like, Tenza Zangetsu. And my whole entire outfit has changed. I'm wearing all black and stuff. Everyone's in shock. As Mir just says, you think a simple sword change will happen to defeat me? And, well, what happens is, I disappear and my blade right at her neck. I'm like, I think so. And, well, she basically jumps back. She tries to do her thing with, her attacks. As I'm just able to dodge them, I just yell out right above her. I say, get to the Tensho! Tensho basically as I slash down. As it does, she dodges it, but it cuts the ship. It cuts the ship in half, almost. It's just the end of the ship is cut in half, but she's in shock. I'm still up in the air. She's like, what the? I'm like, come on, it's all you got. So, well, she's about to continue her, she says, no, it's not, and then she's about to summon an attack, and I'm rushing for her. As, well, somebody appears while catching the blade and catching my blade, blocking her attack, and it was like, well, this is quite a surprise. Someone who isn't a royalty, a prince, has the blade of the chosen one. And then someone with magic. Does not matter. As in, some creatures popping out of nowhere, grab me or throw her off of the ship. As I'm like, wait, that hat, that scarf, that outfit, and that purple hair, and that weird talk. I know the name, but since I'm tired, I'm not gonna screw it up. Hold on. You're Aldrin! As basically, he was like, so you know of me. Yes, I am. And as he just throws me to the side as we're both floating up there, he was like, I wonder, why do you have this sword of Noctis? I sensed it from my realm. Shit. I can't access that sword. I was like, well, technically I'm summoned here into this world, Aldrin. So if you technically gonna try to kill me because you think I'm not a prince, I'm technically in a world where this sword is, I tell him, saying, copy my memories and one of the swords. Well, copy all the memories of the swords I know, and one of them is the sword that Noctis has used. That's the sign that he's a prince of his kingdom. He was like, I see. I'm sorry for interfering with your fight, but I want to test how strong you are. He's like, come on. It was. I mean, if you have the sword, then shouldn't you be able to be tested? He's like, I haven't been trained with it yet, and I have to be level 65. As he goes, oh, well, if you can't access it because of. Hold up. As he just goes over to me, and he just looks at the sword that I'm holding, he's like, I see. Gotcha. Which I'm like, huh? He's like, oh. He just says, when points to his eyes, he goes, ever since I entered this world, my eyes have been able to see things. But, well, like a little screen pops up. With the sword, I'm able to see it has a system, and I see what level you have to be. So, as then he just snaps his fingers, and a demon appears, I kill it, and it basically gives me a boost up to freaking 90. Just kidding. Gives me up only to, well, nothing. I'm like, what the? As then all of a sudden, the sword appears in my hand from Noctis. Final Fantasy 15, Noctis' sword. As I grab it onto him, I'm like, I'm supposed to be level 65, I'm only level 60. Level 60, sorry. I thought I was about to have a hiccup. And he's like, I unlocked it for you. That demon, well, as soon as you kill it, will basically give you a gift. So, I gave you the gift as a present, the sword. So, as he brings out his sword, he's like, come at me, show me what you're made of, kid. He's like, well, that's something you never hear from you every day. So, we fight, and basically the battle is pretty good. Like, he basically only uses his sword while we're up in the air, and it's just fighting head on and stuff. And for some reason, I feel like my body's able to adapt. I'm able to throw the weapon and then teleport right to it as I grab it and try to swing from behind him, and he blocks it. He goes, impressive, seems you're able to adapt to the sword so easily. But nevertheless, you'll be defeated by me soon. But not today. I will see you next time, kid. He's like, what do you mean? As he points down to where the ship is finally being destroyed, he's like, time is running out. I'm not part of the waves, but I can see what time it'll be. I'll see you next time, kid. And he just leaves. I'm like, what the fuck? That sounded like Dante for a minute. Oh, please don't tell me this is a fusion between him and Dante. Oh god, that would be the most terrifying thing ever. As well, Inferno was like, believe it or not, things are happening that's out of your control. So if I'm here, the sword system's bringing it here. So maybe it's gonna combine for you to get stronger since you almost died. He's like, true. Crap. Aldrin and Dante fusion. Oh god. As I, do get down very quickly to Naofumi and everyone, as I basically summons out Drake! As basically the dragon appears, Motoyasu is like, wait, that's the dragon that me and Itsuki killed! It's like, no time to explain, come on! As we get on and fly off. Mirror's fine, so yeah. After that, we do technically get the. Naofumi does get the monster, skin and such. Sorry, go on. And then he's called to the king along with me. And, well, the king says that same thing to Naofumi. And then with me, it's just like, tell me how you were able to transform your swords, blah, blah, blah. Including summon out a dragon, blah, blah, blah. It's like, make me. Just make me. And I'm just like, legit, just holding my hands to the side. I'm like, make me, King. You have the power. Go ahead. Bring it on. As Naofumi was like, okay, I know I would challenge him too, but this is just like over the top. I was thinking, he's like, oh, how dare you, hero? It's like, you are no Kane. Just a spineless coward. I just look at Naofumi, I was like, let's get going. As I just turn around, just walking away, and Naofumi, does. And then he tells exactly the same thing he did about what he said he'll make, not Raphtalia and Philo suffer, but then he says about Albedo, as we both just look at him. As Naofumi says his thing, as in all of a sudden though, I just grab on, like, something, I'm not even holding my sword, as it just disappears in a katana in a sheath appears in my hand. But for some reason, it's white and blue. And I just disappeared for a split second. And I had the sword right at near the king's neck, which everyone shot, including Naofumi, and my hair's turned white. I did forget to mention the swords will change. So basically, imagine though when I did some of that sun gets in, my hair was orange and green. My hair was orange and my eyes were green. So basically, my hair was turned white and blue. I guess because of Virgil's eyes, I think, are blue. Sorry, never yawn. But anyways, and I just say, unlike Naofumi, I don't mind killing a king. Which that just sends shivers down his spine as I just, sheath the sword, then it turns back into the regular sword, put it on my back again as I was walking away. And then he says, a cursed shield and sword! And, well, Naofumi and me get the same speech about, dare say, about how forces we are upsetting, And then Melty with, with her father, exact same thing, but with her only thing is she does not, tell her anything. She just says hello, dear sister, and that's it. So yeah. And well, then we get to basically while we're just going to our part where we're in town. I tell Naofumi, and Raphtalia and Albedo. Well, not Albedo. I feel that me and Albedo are gonna go shopping around real quick. We'll be back. And like, oh, okay. So basically, we go to a clothing store. I just buy clothing that look like bandits and some arrows and bows, and basically, I just sum out my soldiers. I'm like, hey guys, put these on, and here's some bows and arrows. I know you guys already have some, so basically swords. So we're gonna need those and an axe. I have to go kill a couple, horses and such, or animals that you guys can ride on. So they ask for what, and I just tell them, there's gonna be an attack on the princess, so I'm just gonna stage like it was a bandit attack, so that way it's gonna be a lot more different. He's like, how do you know this? He's like, Sixth Sense? I like can't tell them this was an anime. So, yeah, I killed some horses, some technically wild ones that were technically monster based, and well, not really much XP. But anyways, what happens is this: we basically every time we go to canon, even with Ehard given the new sword to Retalia, the spirit, the mono sword, along with Philo getting the gloves and such, and we're just in and out. You know what the other thing would happen? Well, the whole thing like this will happen. I would leave and summon out my soldiers, tell them the plan, where the cliff is, and wait for my signal. Basically, though, I'm gonna say this: the book had a lot more spells than the magic shop owner knew, and one had a telepathic spell. I'm allowed to talk telepathically to someone else. So, when the whole entire Melty talking to us happens, I'm just like, nope, not gonna happen. And Nofumi was like, same here. And then she gets all upset and stuff, and Nofumi feels like the exact same things happening like it happened when he was being prosecuted. As in, well, when I see the guys taking his step and sword out, I just tell them now as, well, they just see arrow hit him in the face, dead, and then, well, they just see bandits, and it's like, kill them all and take everything that they have, basically, and, well, you know. Me, Albedo, take care of the monsters, or people that are attacking, while Nofumi, Retalia, and Philo take care of Melty. Sorry, but basically, after all of that happens, the guards would have been killed, along with the crystal ball being shattered, and then I explained to Melty why this had to happen, and I just resummoned them, and they explained everything, which everyone's kind of shocked. But yeah, but anyways, so I got to the part where I wanted, and yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, everyone. Hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye.